Are you a young man? Are you a young lady? Are you a child who has just gotten out of college and looking forward to make money? Then this is the best channel for you to subscribe to. Subscribe to this channel, and we are going to teach you how to become rich, because on this channel, all that we teach here is solely financial education. We are not financial advisors. We are anything over here. We are just giving an advice that whatever you feel you want to do, we are just going to give you guidelines, and then so that you too can do what you want to do and become successful one day in the future. That is exactly what we are doing on this channel. So if you are here and you are new here, just subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so that we can roll in. Today's topic is very simple. We want to look at finding your own financial fast track. That is what we are going to look at today. Finding your own financial fast track. How to find our own financial fast track. That is why I said if you are young, a lady or a gentleman, and you just got out of college, and if you haven't heard anything about financial education before, then you have to start learning, because if you want to become rich one day, riches is not out of luck. Riches is not wishes. You can't wish yourself into the worth word worthy word. You can't wish yourself into getting money, even though money wouldn't make you that happy. But yes, it is the only thing as far as life is concerned that can give you a peaceful life, and that can give you everything that you need in life and can take you far. So that is why the subject on financial education is very, very much important, and I urge every one of us here to just dive into it. All right, there are three forms of education, and that is academic education. That is number one, where a child is born and goes to school from crèche to high school, and then finish that. So from crèche to high school, that is what we term as what the academic education. Then professional education, which is the second form of education, where a child goes, uh, a young man or anybody goes, and that is what to become whatever you wish to become in life. If you want to become a teacher, you have to go to college. If you want to become an accountant, you have to go to the accounting school. If you want to become a lawyer, you have to go to law school. Doctors go to doctorate school, and that is it. So from there you become a professional. You become a professional. So when you become a professional, immediately you leave there. Immediately you leave the school system, you will become an employee. That is what is there. You become an employee. Immediately you leave that area, you become an employee, and that is the zone that you get into. So when you get out of college, you become an employee. You become an employee. You get out of college, you are looking for posting, you are looking for a job, you are, that kind of thing. So this is where you find yourself in the quadrant. According to Robert T. Kiyosaki, he has come up with these quadrants of life, and they are very, very much true. So the first thing is the E, and then we have the S, we have the B, and then we have the I quadrant. So this is how the quadrant looks like. The left side have the E, and then the X, the B, and then the I. So the E stands for employment, and then the X stands for the small scale business, the small scale um, business. And then the B stands for the businesses, the big businesses. And then the I stands for investors. So I stands for investors. So that is it. So as you can see, the E here stands for employment. The S stands for small scale business. So I have here employment. I have here small scale business. And then I have here big uh, businesses. And then we also have investors. Let's see if that is it. So over here we have employment, and then we have small scale business, We have the big business here, and then we have investment over here. So now for the employment, that is why I say you get out of college, you get out of college. So you are out of college, and then you enter into this straight. So when you get out of college, you are going to enter into the employment skill straight. So that is exactly where you are going to find yourself, because you are going to be looking for an employment. You are going to be looking for somebody to employ you so that you too can work. Now, if you get there, then maybe the next thing you want to do is to start something small on your own. When you start something small on your own, where you yourself become the system, where you yourself you start putting up a shop where you go attend to the shop, attend to your customers on your own, and when you get out of there, the business closes, and that is where we term as what, small scale business. Small scale business. This is where you set up your own small something that you are doing. The small scale business is setting up something small, your own small something that you are trying to do. But the big business over here, is when what is it called? This is where they have an employees of about 500 plus. 500 employees are working in this quadrant. They are working here, and the investors, they invest in their money into stars that will bring them into assets. Yes, they invest their money into assets. They invest their money into building their own houses, anything at all that can fetch them money. That is what they invest their money into. So that is it. That is all about something small about what I have to tell you is that how do you find your financial fast track if in case you leave what is it called, you leave college and you are looking for a job, you leave college and you become an employee. What do you do from there? What do you do from there? That is what we are going to look at today. What do you do from becoming an employee? So the first thing is that when you get out of there, mind your own business. If you want to become rich one day, the first thing is you mind your own business. Yes, how do you mind your own business? Mind your own business by filling out all your financial statements. Make sure that the money you get from your employment, make sure that you get when you are employed as a teacher, as a nurse, as a doctor, as a lawyer, whatever money you get, make sure that you have financial statement for it. You have financial statement for all the monies that you receive, so that you can know how to mind your own business, how to invest into something that is of your dream. Have dreams, have plans for your life. Don't just wake up and say, oh, I'm an employee, I have a job, and so I'm okay with that. Don't be okay with where you are. Make sure that you work towards your financial goals. Make sure that you become rich one day. That is what you are supposed to do. That is why this channel is created. So if you are new here, just hit the subscribe button and hit the like button so that we can dive into a lot of things. So after that, you set financial goals. You have to set financial goals. So in the minding of your own business, you have to set financial goals. I remember when I got out of college, I'm a teacher. So as you can see here, I'm a teacher. So as I got out of college, I started working. I got posted and I started working. And every money that comes to me, there is a way that I divide my money. Maybe it may not be suitable to you, but that is how into three, into three equal parts. So if I receive about 1,200 Ghana cedis, what I do is that I divide it into three. So 400 each, 400 and 400 each. So for the first 400 goes into my day keeps. I take my financial statement and I make sure that I draw it. 400 takes care of me. I buy some grocery for my house. I buy some clothing. I buy some, put some money in my pocket for the month. And then the other part, the second part of the money, to save it for emergency. Anytime there is emergency, so I had something that I had a cushion that I could fall on. So I call that my insurance. So that is what I use the second part of the money for. And then the third part of the money is what I use to pay myself. So I pay myself that amount of money because I was in a hurry. I wanted to get there fast. So I pay myself the third part of the money, and that is what I invest into my assets. That is what I invest into my assets. So I remember one day when I got home, and then I told my mother about everything, the assets that I have, and she was like, "Whoa, for how many years now have you been working?" I said, "I'm in my first year, heading towards my second year." And she was marveled. She was like, "Wow, that is great. You are doing well. You are doing very well." But I can't just wait to get rich. Yes, I can't wait to get rich. That is for me. I can't just wait to get rich. So that is what I do. I divide my money into three. The first one I used to pay myself, and that is 400 cedis. The second one I used to save for emergency, any emergency that is coming around. And then the third one is what I use as my upkeeps. So I had goals for my money. I had short-term goals and I had long-term goals. So I invested my money into stocks. So I said I was going to do this, and then the first thing I started investing money into was to buy land and then resell. That is what I was doing first. So that is what I did for some time, and that is what I'm still doing anyway. You should know that anytime you invest, you should invest for the long term. So I have a long term goal for my for my finances. So I keep them in on track, and I make sure that I follow through. Please just follow through all your financial goals. The second thing that we are going to talk about today is take control of your cash flow. Take control of your cash flow. What does it mean to say cash flow? Cash flow is the money that you get when the asset is bringing out profit. In other words, cash flow is your profit from the asset that you bought with your payment, with your money, with the investment that you made first. Like in my case, as I put the 400 aside to pay myself, and I put it into an asset, the profit that I get from the asset, let's put groceries into it, and then I'm selling these groceries, and every money that is coming out of the grocery every day, that is my cash flow. That is the profit that is coming out of it, entering into my pocket as a result of owning that kind of asset. That is my cash flow. Or I buy a house, real estate. I go into real estate. I buy a house, I rent it out, and the money that flows into my pocket every month, that is what we call cash flow. So you have to take control of your cash flow. How do you take control of your cash flow? You have to review your statement, your financial statement regularly. Make sure you review your financial statement regularly from step one. Step one says that mind your own business. So if your business is bringing you cash flow, make sure that you review the financial statement of your business. Is that okay? So that is what you do. You need to determine which quadrant you are receiving your income from. Which quadrant are you receiving the income from? Are you now, when I say quadrant, I mean this. Are you receiving most of your incomes from the employment as a result of becoming a teacher or a lawyer or a doctor, or you are receiving that from what is it called, your small business or your investment or the business that you are putting up? Which quadrant is your money coming from? That is what we are talking about here. Which quadrant is the money coming from? So the next thing you have to do is determine which quadrant you want to receive more of your income from. Which quadrant? So for me, I want to receive more of my income from the B quadrant, the B, the B quadrant. That is the big business quadrant. So I'm putting things together. I have that is part of my long-term financial plans. The B and the I are part of my long-term financial plan. The B and the I, the big business, and then the investor. So right now I'm here putting up some small scale business, and I'm also here, and I'm going to move from there to big business, to and then also to the what is it called, the investor. So for now, that is what you are supposed to do. The next thing is that you begin your cash flow management plan. You begin your cash flow management plan. So when the money is coming again, the first thing you need to do is to pay yourself as well again. you need to pay yourself again. Let's say maybe I have a house that I'm renting out, and then it's putting, let's say, 50 cedis or every day into my pocket. So if that money is entering into my pocket every day, like with my what is it called, division of money, I will still divide that money into three, and then I will use one to pay myself, one for my groceries, and then the other for emergency fund or any other thing. That is what I use. That is how I divide my money, and it is the best thing for you to do as well. It is the best thing for every single person on earth to do. So the next thing we are going to talk about is that you continue the procedure of paying your debt. Pay all your debt. Make sure that you pay all your debt. If you own debt, if you own anything, if you owe anybody, if you owe anybody anything, make sure you pay. Make sure you start paying all your debt so that you become debt free. Because when you become debt free, the money you are using to pay the debt becomes what, a cash flow, becomes the money that is in your pocket. And then if you have let's say two loans that you are paying, make sure that make sure that you double up. If you have the loan that you are paying, make sure you double up. Let's say you have a loan that will end in January, and you have the second loan that will end in December. So make sure you pay. After paying the one that ends in January, it doesn't mean that when you finish paying the one that ends in January, you should just go ahead and then spend that money that you have been using to pay in January. Add it to the one that you are going to finish paying in December, and that is going to shorten the days, the month for you, so that you can pay it quick and then get your hands out of the debt. So stay debt free. That is the next thing to do. Take the money you were using to pay the debt towards the January and add it to that of the December in the example that I just did. Now the next thing is that you should know the difference between asset and liability. Know the difference between asset and liability. This is very, very important. See, asset put money into your pocket. Asset put money into your pocket, and liability takes money out of your pocket. So don't misunderstand this. Don't go and buy the car when you have 10,000 in the account. Don't go and owe 100,000 cars when you have only 10,000 in your account. Yes, that isn't financial literate. That isn't financial education. That is just you doing something on your own. But don't buy liability thinking that liabilities are assets. Liability takes money out of your pocket, and then assets put money into your pocket. So you should know this difference. If I buy a car and I'm using it for transport, I'm using it to as a taxi, I'm using it for any kind of job, then that is putting money into my pocket, and that is an asset. But if I buy a car and I'm just driving around in town, then you should know that that is a liability. So know the difference between a liability and asset, because people buy liability thinking that they are asset. They buy things that make them look rich, but it's not really. They are not rich. They are suffering each day. So you should know the difference between liability and then assets. So the direction of your cash flow is everything. So a house can be an asset, or it can also be a liability depending on the direction of the cash flow. Is the cash flow going out of your pocket, or is it coming into your pocket? If it is coming into your pocket, then what is it called? An asset. But if it is going out of your pocket, then that is a liability. So you should know the difference now. By now, you should know the difference that assets put money into your pocket and liabilities takes money out of your pocket. So that is it. Now, the next thing you are going to do is decide what kind of investor you want to be. Decide what kind of investor you want to be. There are three types of investors. That is the type A investor, who's type B investors, and then type C investors, according to Robert T. Kiyosaki. So if you want to be a type C investors, they are an expert who tells them what to do. They seek experts who tells them what to do. Let's say, for instance, I go around looking for people who tell me, "Come on, what do you think? I have some kind of 100,000 in my account. What do you think I should do with 100,000?" These are the people we move around. They move around. They go to the bank. They go to the attorneys. They go to people looking for things to put their money into. So they seek experts. If you have experts who are really experts by doing what they are preaching to you, then that is okay. Let's say somebody who is a real estate agent, he invests in real estate and is giving you he's educating you on that. That is okay. But the type C investors, that is what they do. They don't learn anything on their own. They don't want to learn anything on their own. They just want to go out there, go around, and then look for people, and then look for experts who will tell them what to do, and then they end up losing all their money, losing much of their money, if not all. And then the type B investors, they are investors who seek answers. They are investors who seek answers. They are just there for assets around. They seek answers. They go around looking, asking people, what do you think investing in real estate is good? What do you think about investing in this? What do you think about investing in that? What do you think about investing? They seek answers. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to go through the hassle of learning anything through their life. So what they do is that they just go around looking for things like this. So they look for answers. And then type A investors are investors who seek problems. They seek problems and solve them. Now, problems are not seen with our eyes, they are seen with our mind. 99% of the problems in this world were seen with the mind. That is why it can carry you far. But if you see problem with your eyes, then it's just 5% of it and you will not be able to tackle it. So, keep an open mind and then look for problems to solve. So which type of investor do you want to become? Do you want to become the investor who solves problem, the investor who seeks answers, or the investor who seeks an expert to tell them what to do? So that is up to you. Just speak. So I can have some examples for you. Bill Gates. Bill Gates, when he was a child, he has the knack for selling. So he is an entrepreneur. He looked for a problem and solved it. The problem Bill Gates solved was that Bill Gates is an expert at solving software marketing problem, and that is what he does. He solves software marketing problem. Today he is a millionaire. Trump also is an expert who solves problem with what? Real estate. He solves problem in real estate. Warren Buffett is an expert at solving problems in businesses and the stock market. That is what he does. So you go look for problem and solve, and that is going to make you a millionaire. Now, um, is it an investment property? That you want to do you want to keep the investment as property, or you want to keep the investment as something that is going to be putting money into your pocket? If you are keeping it as property, that will be a liability. That means that you are going to take money out of your pocket. You are going to take money out of your pocket all the time. But if you are keeping it as an asset, then that means somebody else is going to be putting money into your pocket. So that is it. That is what we are here to learn today. And thank you very much for this. So if you are new here, please hit the subscribe button. Don't take this lightly. Don't take it for a joke, because this is going to really help you. It's going to really change your life. So as a young man out of college, make sure that you start building your assets in the column where you want to be. And don't forget, the quadrant is E, S, B, and I. So that is it. Don't forget that. Don't just forget that. You are E, that means that you are an employee and you are working for money all the time. If you are S, that means that you have a small scale business and you are also working for money. And if you are B, then it means that you are growing your assets into a big business, like the Dangotes that we see around, the Despites that we see around. These people have grown their businesses. They've grown their businesses to that kind of level where it has become a very big business, and they have over thousands of people employed into their company. So they sleep and make money. And then the I too, they invest their money into stuff like real estate, they invest their money into stuff like gold, they invest their money into stuff like oil and gas and that kind of thing. So find something to invest your money into and stop buying liability, thinking it's an asset. So if you are just getting out of college, this is for you, and you are supposed to be a smart one. This is financial education. This is where we come and learn financial everything about financial education. Thank you very much. Bye bye.